Let's see if this video works. I'm up here checking the roof. And I took a year off of my side stuff, my side gigs, you know. But I'm back. One reason I came up here is to see what's going on with this. So on this side of the roof, it's cool. But on this side of the roof, you got these little splotches. And maybe I just need to pour some Clorox on it or something. I'll Google it. But it's weird. If you have a big tree like that, try to cut it down. I put this roof on 5 years ago for $2,000. And, you know, it's supposed to last 20 years or 30 years or something like that. It's good, but that's kind of, I saw that the other day and I thought, well, where did that come from? And I'll probably Google it. But it's time to, see, if you take time off, if you change your routine and you get kind of lazy, the devil sees that. And if the devil sees you being lazy, he's going to send somebody to try to, see, if you're busy, it's weird being on a roof looking at life from a different perspective, ain't it? It's wild stuff. Yeah, if you're busy, the devil can't mess with you. An idle mind is the devil's workshop, and I'm starting to think that 8-hour job is not busy enough. Because an 8-hour job is not busy enough, you know. You gotta stay busy. Your mind has to stay busy. And if you studied the word all your life, you gotta find something that once you get the word in you, then you gotta get your little side business going, or your other stuff going, your little extra money, whatever, or helping people, ministry, church, something. You gotta have something to stay busy all the time. I gotta put that ladder up. But during that year off, I've got enough content now to last 20 years, because I actually saw the Bible stories playing out. Because I wasn't busy, I was able to meditate, and situations that played out, I actually saw. And thanks to AI, you can actually use AI and say, okay, this is the situation. Can you give me, it's not right, something's not right about it. Can you give me some Bible stories to show me what Bible stories this lines up with? And so, like today, I asked AI, I gotta check something. I asked AI, I said, what do you think about this situation? And I said, give me 10 data points showing how it's contrary to scripture and unbiblical. And if somebody's trying to pull you into that reality over a period of time, then you know what is the reason. And it says the reason is rebellion, witchcraft, being your own God, going by your own understanding instead of trusting God. And think about this. And AI didn't say this. I concluded this myself. I concluded that if it's not God's will, it has to be mammon. It has to be greed. The love of money is the root of all evil. So if it's not God's will, it's evil, because it's man's will. I think I saw you over at UNCG the other day.
Which one?
I was riding my bike.
Was I driving my truck?
You driving that one?
Oh yeah. You know, Yeah, you did. Yeah, I remember seeing you were kind of on Tate Street.
Yeah,
I think I was getting ready to go to dinner.
I bought that bike cheap, but it's good exercise.
Absolutely, man. I need to jump in on that.
And it's electric, so you can go 20 miles, but you pedal the whole time.
Yeah, any kind of activity.
So yeah, I've come to this conclusion today that anything that is not God's will, it's mammon. It just came to me. And let's think about that, because the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. So you know if somebody is trying to pull you out of God's will, out of God's calling, out of God's destiny for you, then what is their root? It's the love of money, and it's also self-worship. And so the love of money is setting their affections on things below instead of above. And if these people that want to be in your world don't want to support any kind of gospel message, winning souls, reaching out for souls, and it's all about money, 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 and that's all they talk about, and they never talk about winning souls, they're probably not saved, to be honest with you. They can claim to be saved, but if you get saved and born again, you want to reach souls, and you want to support channels and churches and people who reach souls. But if it's all about money, they don't care about souls, and they don't care about your soul. They love money. It's all about money. It's all about self-worship. Worship of self. So let me just tell y'all something. How to separate, another way to be able to separate the sheep from the goats. It says another way to separate the sheep from the goats. If a person is a sheep, that means they got born again. They want to reach souls. And if they don't have the capacity, they want to support people who reach souls. And if people are reaching souls and they're all about mammon, they're going to do everything in their devices to shut you down. It's like 90-some degrees up here today. And take you off your course, off your walk, off your routine. And I decoded on my website the word via, V-I-A, means the way. And the letters W-I means to take off the way. Take you off the way. Now, if somebody is trying to take you out of the way, W-I-C-C, they're trying to take you off the 33 path, which is what? The path that Jesus walked. And if you keep those people out of your world long enough, day by day, step by step, cycle by cycle, if you keep those people out of your sight, out of your ear gate, out of your mind, because they don't want to support what you're doing, they just want to support what they're doing. You know, it's money. It's mammon. See, they might get riches in this world, but they won't get riches in the next world. And if I can win a soul, the Bible says, if you win souls, you can cover a multitude of sins, right? And he that wins souls is wise. So I'm trying to win souls to cover a multitude of sins, right? At the Bema seat. I'm going to have to answer at the Bema seat for stuff I've done in the body. And you are too. And he that wins souls is wise, because you cover a multitude of sins. And you're also building treasures in heaven. But the average worldly person, They can go to church or not, it don't matter. They say they believe, but they don't really believe, because they're setting their affections below and not above. Setting their affections below and not above. Worldlings, criminals, thieves, prostitutes, Jezebel, Delilah, liars, seducers, gamers, players, drug dealers, drug heads, drug addicts. Look at me, Queen Bee, me. Worship me, Queen Bee. If they spent as much time trying to win souls as they put in that yard, they might win some souls, right? This is really not for your entertainment. This is for your mental stretching, to stretch your mind, to become a mental magician against the magic of the system. Become a mental magician against the magic of the system. Reverse their magic. See through a mental, what would the word be? Decode their fake reality games. Isn't that a truth? Mental gymnastics to see through the game. If they can get you in emotions, they mess with you. But, maybe as you get older, you're more in your emotions than you are. I had a preacher on Yahoo one time. We were talking about that. He said, as I get older, he was like 70-something. He said, as I get older, my emotions affect me more. Lord, help me to stay in doctrinal truth and absolute truth, and let my emotions follow the truth and not the truth follow the emotions. That's my prayer these days. Because your emotions are not even real unless they follow the truth. And somebody can play these little mind games on you, or try to, and you know the truth. And eventually they played the same repeat over and over, and they try to spin it, but it's the same narcissistic Jezebel game. And so they spin it and they try to make it look like something else. And they try, it's all about money. Remember, love of money. But they spin it like, somebody can spin it like, oh, it's love. They're in love. And, you got this woman who loves money, but she has to say, oh, I'm in love. No, she's not. If she was in love, she'd step into the Word, because without the Word, there's no love. Without the Word of God, there's no love. A lost person can't be in love. They don't know what love is, because first you have to receive the love of God, which is agape love, and you have to walk in agape love. And if you don't have agape love, you can't have, that's agape's God's love. If you don't have agape love, you can't have friendship love, you can't have family love, and you can't have married love. And so you can't have those kind of loves unless you first receive God's love. Because even if you have those other loves and there's emotions, you stand in agape and you keep loving that person. Let's say you're married to somebody and they're like this. You love that person even though their emotions are up and down, because you're basing it on steady state agape love. She don't care if she runs over me. She saw me. But she hugged that curb. And she did her lip like she was like, what are you doing in the road in my way? She hugged that curb. You could see her body language. She was mad. Her bottom lip went up to her nose. Her top lip went up to her nose and her bottom lip went up with it. I don't know what that word means. Smug. That body language word means smug or something. I don't know. If you speak the truth, let's say somebody's speaking into your ear gate, half-truths, fake reality, for hours at a time, if you let them, and then finally you say, I'm not doing it anymore, I don't want to hear the voice, I don't want to hear the lies, I don't want to hear the half-truth, and you pretty much shut it down. So then you walk and you talk and you speak the truth, and the words out of your mouth you actually hear as well. So you're actually ministering to yourself by the Spirit, because the Spirit of Christ in you. And you got brothers and sisters that you talk to about situations, and they help you. But if you listen long enough and you take notes when somebody is trying to program you, you'll catch what they're trying to do. I'll give you one example. If somebody's trying to program you to accept their evil, then they're going to call you up and say, hey. So let's say some woman's trying to get the man to accept her evil, right? So she's going to call you up and say she loves you, and talk and talk and talk and talk, 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 talk. And she's going to throw in some different words like, you know, I saw this man and woman. They said they never talk bad about the other one, and they're always supportive no matter what. So what's the program there? If you are living in lies, if you are living in half-truths, she's trying to program you not to rebuke her, because she's using some kind of example. Maybe it's upstanding people who speak the truth, but you don't really know what's going on in the house. You only see the outward. And you got these upstanding people, supposedly, but you really don't know. And the observation is, oh, they're great. They're perfect. We got to do like them. If I'm doing wrong and rebellious and this, you can't call me out on it, and you can't go talk to anybody about it, because even though it's abusive and manipulative and all that, you can't talk to anybody about it to get free from it, because I want to make you a slave to the lie. Rewind that and listen to it slower. Listen to it slower and see the manipulation in that. If I have a truck that's yellow, and that's a perfect paint job, and I got a truck over here that has blemishes in it, and they want you to look at this truck as an example, but this truck here has blemishes. And they say, well, when you look at me with all these half-truths and lies and manipulation and witchcraft and sorcery, I want you to think about that truck and not me. In other words, instead of them rising up to the level of that truck or those people that they put on a pedestal, they don't want to rise up and do what those people are doing. They just want you to accept them as they're down here in this low vibration, or sin, or death, or rebellion, or witchcraft, or whatever. Look at this family. Look at this couple. They're perfect. You never hear anything bad. Okay, so they learned how to manage life together. But you want to but all your paint job looks terrible. But you want to be like them and be treated like them, but you haven't painted your truck. You have all these blemishes on your vehicle, your body ship, your heart, your soul, your will, your emotions, your mind. You have all these dark blemishes. And you want somebody to see you with no blemishes. And that way they can manipulate you and pull you into a fake reality. It's kind of like WandaVision. That's a perfect example. She creates a bubble and wants you to believe that she's some saint or some great person. But you see the red outfit that she's got on, and you see the game she's playing, and the manipulation and the witchcraft. So you really can't see her as a righteous person, because everything that she does is contrary. But she still wants you to see. So this is what she looks like, the reality. with the mold and all. But she wants you to see her like this. So she uses this example to get you to think that she's perfect, that she's righteous. But all her actions are opposite. All her words are opposite. Everything she's doing is opposite. She actually looks like this in her heart. And that other set of people that she's trying to emulate or mimic, it's an image. It's not even real. And the reason for it is an outward show. They want you to be a flying monkey. They want you to be a flying monkey to support their false image, that they're not willing to do the work. They're low vibration, but they want you to tell everybody that they're high vibration, and they're not. And it'll never work, because these people are so blind to their sin that they become master manipulators. Neuro-linguistic programming. They want to paint a picture that you believe about them that's not even real. They could be murderers, thieves, child molesters, liars, devils, demons, anti-Bible cults and isms and satanic cults, and they could be so much false doctrine that if they have people supporting them and building them up, like, oh yeah, they're perfect, they look great, so they can play their little game, so they can manipulate certain people. They have an agenda. And even if they say they don't, they do, because they've done it their whole life, that they can't not do it. They don't even know what it means to have a sound mind. If I have a sound mind, I say, look, I'm walking straight down here. If somebody has an unsound mind, they say, I'm going over here, and they do it, and then they come back here. They go over here, and then they come back over here. I'm going here, and then they go here. Why? Because they're fickle. They're wavering. A double-minded man's unstable in all his ways, or woman. And the Bible talks about the wicked are evil, and they're wavering. They wave like the seas, and they're not stable. And it actually destroys them, because the ones that they try to pull in to help stabilize them, they're so the person's stable, and they're so wavering that you have to leave them alone, because they're just not following through with their promises, their words, even their walk. Nothing about them is steady state. And the only thing steady state about them is money. But even then, you'll see they might make a lot of money, but they spend money like crazy. They're a wave in the sea. The Bible talks about it in the book of Jude. They're waves tossed to and fro. The new fad, or the new shiny object. I want to go here. I want to do this. I want to buy this. I want to do this. I'm going to change this. I'm going to do this.
All right, how you doing?
Hey, like your shirt, man.
Thank you.
That's the only way to make it, right?
That's the only way. The only way I can.
It's the only way we all can. They're waves tossed to and fro, just like the sea. And that's why in the new heaven and new earth, there won't be any sea. It'll just be steady state.